But today we're going to look at verses 4 and 5, and I'm so excited. So let's get right into it because we're going to keep these videos short. So verse 4 says, love is patient and kind. Love is not jealous or boastful or proud. Verse 5 says, or rude. It does not demand its own way. It is not irritable, and it keeps no record of being wronged. Wow. I know that this is something you desire. This is a level of or way of being that you would really love to attain. And I want to tell you that it's possible. It's possible not because we can work our way there. It's possible because this is who God is. And he gives us the power. He gives us the ability to attain these characteristics, to attain patience, kindness, the ability to not envy, right? The ability to not be boastful or proud or rude. And so I want to actually focus in this video on what it means to demonstrate these things, how God demonstrates these characteristics really well. This is so much to get into. We might have to have 2 videos, so there might be a part 2, so just look out for that. But in this one, let's look at how God demonstrates verses 4 and 5 really well. I want to tell you that before you or I even understood that we were in need of saving, before you or I understood our condition of sin, and that we needed rescuing, God saw that and decided not to wait for us to acknowledge our need of him, but he went ahead and forgave us of these sins and said, I am going to send my son to rescue them. And if they accept this gift, then they will have eternal life. Now, I think that is phenomenal because most times you and I want to wait for someone to acknowledge that they're wrong before we go ahead and say, you know what, it's okay. I forgive you, I move on. We can move on, right? But God doesn't wait for that. He didn't wait for that. He said, I'm going to have a plan. I'm going to go ahead and rescue them. And literally, this rescuing, this saving of you and I require the death of God. And that is the epitome of other-centeredness. That is the epitome of selflessness. And that's what I love about God. He demonstrates what 1 Corinthians 10 verse 24 means, which says that no one should seek his own good, but the good of others. And so there's a parable in Matthew chapter 18 that I want to share with you today that illustrates the goodness of God. In Matthew 18, there is a ruler of a country and he has many servants. And one of his servants decides to take some money from this ruler, from his country essentially, and it's millions of dollars. Now the king goes through his accounts and he realizes that some money is missing. And he calls his servant and he holds him accountable and he says, give me back the money. And the servant, recognizing that there is no way that he can repay the millions of dollars, asks for forgiveness. He's like, give me some time and I will repay all. Now, the ruler knows better. The ruler knows that there is no way, like I said, that this servant can repay that money. And so he says, you know what? It's okay. I forgive you. The debt is canceled. Now, there's more to this story, and we're going to talk about it a little bit later, but I just want to focus on the goodness of the ruler in this parable, in this story. This is who God is. He knows that there's no way that you or I can become good in and of ourselves. We can't work our way to goodness. We can't save ourselves. We can't change our characters. I mean, I'm sure you've tried, but he knows that he can, and he knows what it would require, that it would require the life of God, the life and death of God. And so God he went beyond what it was the minimum, right? He could have started over a whole new human race and you and I wouldn't have known anything about it. But he didn't do that. He went beyond. He looked beyond our faults and looked at our needs and said, I am going to do the utmost to save these people. And that's what I love most about God. And you and I can get there. Yesterday I mentioned in 1 Corinthians 12 that there is the Greek word that means the more excellent way. 1 Corinthians 12 verse 31 says that there is a more excellent way. And Paul said, I'm going to show you what this excellent way is, which is 1 Corinthians 13. Now, the word that is used, the Greek word that is used for more excellent is hyperbole. And hyperbole literally means a throwing beyond. So when I say that God looked beyond, he literally threw himself beyond the bare minimum of what would have been good to solve this sin problem. He looked beyond, he threw beyond